Hello and welcome to the first ever Red Couch Chronicles Favorites. Hello and welcome to another episode of Red Couch Chronicles. I'm Danielle. Well, today I am going to publish my first ever favorites videos. It is one of the many videos that I like to watch on YouTube on a regular basis. When many of my YouTube mates share their favorite things on YouTube on a monthly basis. And so when I thought about it, I thought, hey, I'm watching their videos every month, but never have I thought to make one of my own. Well, I am going to start that tradition on Red Couch Chronicles today as I share with you my 4 favorite things in February. Now, we all know that February is the month of love, of course, among other things. We celebrate Valentine's Day on February 14th. And so the purpose of my video is going to share with you the 4 things that just made my heart sing this February of 2017. So the first thing I want to start with is the love of my students. And I have here 2 little trinkets that I was blessed to receive from my students this year. Many of them opted to give me chocolate. I got oodles and bejoodles of chocolate, and a few of them chose to give me some stuffed animals. And when I received every single one of their gifts, my heart was touched and I was overwhelmed with emotion because I figured, wow, in as much as I fuss at them and in as much as I push them to do better and in as much as I push them to reach their potential, they really know in their heart of hearts that I have only their best interest at heart. And so this is for my students, my first favorite of the month of February belongs to you. The second thing that I like to share with you, of course, is another story from one of my students. And this was a student that I had in my class last year. And of course, without going into detail, I will just say that this student was having a really hard time. She was disassociated from her peers. She chose to converse with adults more than she chose to hang out with her peers. She was having some difficulty transitioning into the 5th grade. And so, to make a long story short, I spent most of the year coaxing her, out of her shell, trying to get her to trust her peers, trying to get her even to trust me and to open up to me, to share with me maybe some of the things she wanted to see happen. And like I said, it took almost a whole year, but by the end of the year, that child had blossomed into a beautiful, outgoing, social creature who understood that people are inherently good. And so just a few weeks ago, I was able to bump into this child one day, and as she saw me, she came running to me with her arms wide open, Miss Walcott, Miss Walcott. And of course, we hugged each other. And we all know that when you hug someone, there's a time when you know that the hug is finished and the person you're hugging, they know that the hug is finished and you break at that point. And in hugging her, I felt that we had come to that moment when the hug was going to be finished. And as I looked to release her, she pulled me into her even tighter. She squeezed me around my waist, and our hug continued maybe for another 12 to 15 seconds. And that just filled my heart with so much love, because even though that child did not have the words to say, Miss Walcott, I appreciate you. Miss Walcott, I thank you for everything that you did for me last year. Miss Walcott, I thank you that even more than academics, I learned social skills in your classroom. This was her way of saying all of those things that I just voiced. So that is favorite number 2. Favorite number 3 comes from my daughter, who just knows sometimes how to say the right thing to just make me go, "Oh, you belong to me and I made you. You're awesome." And she sent me a Valentine's, or I should say rather a text on Valentine's Day. And me being all surly and grumpy, it's like, okay, Valentine's Day, you're going to see the parade of flowers and orchids and roses walking through the hallways as husbands of my teacher friends and coworkers just shower them with love and blessings on this day. And so my daughter, she sent me this text and it read, "Happy Valentine's Day to you, Mommy, LOL." And to that I responded, "Happy Singles Awareness Day," which is actually spells sad. And it continues and it says, "Because you are never more aware that you are single at this time of the year." To which my darling daughter responded and she said, "Well, we have each other. So you're never completely alone, not completely single." And in that moment when I received her text, I had to stop right in my tracks and say, the word says, "From out of the mouth of babes." And in that moment, she was so right. I am never truly single. I have a beautiful son. I have a caring, lovely daughter. I have friends. I have family who love me. I have acquaintances. I have coworkers that we can share a good laugh. We can break bread together. We can have a meal together. She was so right. I am never truly alone. And so that was favorite number 3. And lastly, favorite number 4 is actually a testimony that I'd like to share with you. And this testimony came from a friend of mine, a coworker, whose daughter was having some medical issues. And when the issues came to light, of course, she sent out for prayer. She asked prayer warriors to come together to pray for her child to make sure that there would be no longing or lasting issues with whatever the issue was that they were facing. And when she reached out to me, I said, okay, definitely I will pray for you. But these are the things, of course, that I would have you do while I'm praying. I need you to recite some scriptures over your child. I need you and your husband to say these things over her every day, every night before you go to sleep. Get her grandparents to join you in prayer as you guys go through this process together. They got the word in December of 2016. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at it in this Thursday, December the 1st. And while she was praying and the family was praying and friends were praying, of course, I lost my way. We didn't know what was going on, but we were simply trusting in faith. Well, guess what? On the 6th of February this month or last month, she sent me a text and she said, "We have received the miracle that we're praying for. There is no more issue. There will be no more side effects. God is great." And to that I said all the time, and to God be the glory, because this indeed was answered prayer, and I, as well as many other people, were a part of this answered prayer, and it was just a wonderful feeling to know that we had prayed and God had heard what we had asked for. Not only heard it, but given it to us. What a month. Filled with love, not in the way maybe as I would have expected, but filled with love from my daughter, my students, and our Heavenly Father. And I wouldn't have done it any other way. Beloved, what favorites did you have in this month of February? What ways did you experience love, whether it be by the hand of your children, by the hand of your husband, by the hands of friends, acquaintances? What are some of your favorites that you experienced in the month of February? I would love to hear from you. And until next time, this is Danielle on the Red Couch, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.